issues lately through check engine light for running rich, and that could be a heap of issues. Could be injectors, could be fuel pump, fuel filter I swapped out recently, so hopefully that isn't an issue. Could be sensors, O2 sensor, could be maybe anything like thermostat or other things I guess as well could probably trip it. But my coolant sensor also went off. At first I thought it was my coolant level sensor because my car hasn't been running hot or anything, but then I recently discovered that my car has coolant leak, so that was pretty sweet. So not only am I running rich, I'm also having coolant leak, so I don't want to overheat. I was supposed to go on a 200-mile drive tomorrow with my friends and film that and make that my first vlog, but instead we're going to diagnose my car and see what's wrong with it and where we're going to go from there, because I have a race in 3 weeks and I need to pass track inspection. So let's go. I guess we'll talk about track inspection. So this is my first time ever driving any high performance driving event, and you need to pass track inspection just like you would pass tech inspection for any drifting or anything. So I've never done this high performance driving before, but I've done some drifting events and I've helped out my brother with a lot of events and stuff, so I'm pretty familiar with how to track prep and stuff. So I got my car inspected and failed. Yeah. Fuck. But I'll walk you through. I go through the track list, and I guess we'll talk about what it takes to pass a track inspection, and maybe why I failed. So I failed for one reason only, and I'll get to that. But just in general, no crazy body damage, fine. Battery securely mounted, fine. No corrosion, no leaks of any sort from that. Brakes have to be bled with high temp fluid, so I had that done recently. Hoses, lines, brake pads have to be in good shape. Brake pads need to be above 50%. Everything needs to work. Brake lights, that has to be fine. The brake fluid, like I said, high temp fluid I had flushed, so that was good, and they asked for a date and signature on that, so I had that signed. Drive and half shafts, so the drive shaft has to be in good condition, and half shafts and other things like axles, which is where I failed. My axles, one of them has a torn boot, and due to the lack of lubrication, it's kind of clicking, and it was suggested that I replace both my axles in the rear before I go driving. I've done a lot of spirited driving. Car isn't unsafe, but maybe for the track, it's a liability. So that has to be done. Oh, jeez. I'm sweating because we're in Texas. I'm in Dallas, and it is fucking hot. It's like 100 degrees right now in the garage. Drive belts, everything has to be good. Engine, transmission, differential mounts have to be solid. No worn bushings, no cracks, no breaks. Exhaust has to be good. Fuel and coolant hoses have to be fine. No leaks and whatnot, but now I have a leak, so I have to sort that. What else we have? Mirrors have to be on car, pedals, seat belts, seats, steering, suspension, throttle linkage. Tires are kind of important. For, you need to have good, nice tires if you're going to drive really fast on the track, obviously. I'm actually going to get new tires before we go, on the rear at least. My front tires are relatively new. Wheel bearings have to be sound. Wheels can't be cracked or broken. Windows, good. Windshield wipers, and your windshield. My windshield has a crack in it, it's small, but as long as it's not, a huge monster crack breaking your line of vision, you're fine. So yeah, I failed, but like I said, I'm gonna replace those axles, and then we'll be good to go. So next weekend, I'll be swapping out the axles in the rear. I also have other things I want to do. I want to adjust the suspension height and the hardness, the dampening on the suspension, so I'll adjust that from front and rear. Maybe adjust the height of the suspension in the rear, because as of right now I'm setting pretty low, but on the track I'm going to want to set a little higher on the rear, so I'm definitely going to do that. Other things that obviously I have to take care of is this coolant leak. So right now I'm gonna inspect everything, kind of take you through that process, see what's going on. This week I'm gonna order the parts. Hopefully I can get the hoses in. I don't think I'll get them in for next weekend, but we'll have those hoses swapped soon. I also want to remove my clutch fan, pull the clutch fan out, and I have an electric fan to put in instead. So that is something on my list because it's chopped up, beat up, and it's just a piece of shit, honestly. So I'm gonna get rid of that, and honestly takes away from some of the engine power, just having an excess weight on that pulley. So get rid of that. That'll be fine. Electric fan much tighter to the radiator. Obviously it's gonna pull a lot more air, so that'll be a lot better. Overall, not a lot going on today, but we're just gonna figure out what's going on with the car, see what we're gonna do, what parts we need to order before we go, and what's the best plan of attack. So let's check it out. So as you can see here is some coolant leaks from what appears to be this fitting right here. I don't know if it's up top here, somewhere in the bottom here, but it's spraying coolant onto the intake manifold. Here you can see it, and it's on some of the blades as well. And as you can see, these blades are pretty beat up. Like I said, that's from hitting the fan shroud. So this will be replaced, and obviously if you know anything about E46 clutch fans, if you're able to spin this when the car is not on, obviously your clutch fan is bad, so that's not good. I think what I'm going to do is essentially order basically new hose kit, top radiator hose, bottom hose, which is down here. I might also consider ordering this back hose as well, because I have seen that drip a few times. I can also see some buildup of crud on the, the expansion tank here. I'm not really too sure if it's going or whatnot. It's the parts. Honestly, at this point, it's just coming down to replacing everything. Car's older, so it has over 200,000 miles on it. The car's been tracked before. So I'm not surprised that there's a lot of shit going on with it and there's a lot of stuff wrong with it, but that's the fun. And I've always wanted an E46 M3. I've had 2 other E46s before this, so this has been a dream of mine. So, and to track this car is going to be unreal. So I'm so excited and I can't wait for that. But like I said, we gotta take care of it and get it done right. So sick, but like I said, a lot of plans, but trying to take it slow and get seat time is really the most important, and do the proper maintenance. So there's a lot of things in this car that are really sweet. Suspension setup, awesome, has great suspension in it. It's like Gaz Gold. That's a good race suspension. They're fully adjustable for the most part. I wish the front could go a little lower, but it is what it is. I'm not too upset. But I have it's starting to fucking rain. It doesn't rain here a lot in Texas, but it's storming now. In this upcoming week, hopefully coolant lines, replace those, fan, we're going to swap that auxiliary fan out. I even might try to pull it out right now, honestly, and if I can pull it out now, I may make some moves to put the electric fan in. I need to get the ties to hold it up, but maybe I'll try to pull this right now. In terms of the car running rich, I have to figure that out, so hopefully we could fish around and see what's going on with that. So let's go. Looks like the fan blade, I guess, had knocked into it, or the radiator kind of came back and hit the fan, and I guess it kind of caused the leak or something around this area. So that's where I was getting my coolant leak from, and now I could actually pull this fan out. There we go, fan's off. So, the next radiator I get, we're gonna put the electric fan and bolt it right to the back of it instead of having this stupid clutch fan set up. So hopefully we won't have to deal with that anymore. I'm gonna order a radiator tonight, CSF radiator, have that come as soon as possible. So I can hopefully get my car driving again. But yeah, that's where we're at so far. So gonna clean this up and figure it out, see what else I got going on. Alright guys, just wanted to close out this video. Different day. I just figured I was gonna film some more, but diagnose the rich system issues. But I figured I'd do that another day. Close out the video now. I did a lot of talking, probably too much talking, but hopefully, you know, we kind of discussed like what track inspection's like, so we could just hopefully pass that next time we go, take you through that process. But just overall, as the car sits right now, everything is taken off in the front here. I have a radiator and hoses coming tomorrow or the next day, and then I'm also considering getting the parts that hold the radiator, the support brackets that go on the sides here that mount to these frame rails. Besides that, I did some homework, and I kind of came across the fact that maybe it might not be my fuel pump or injectors. It could be an O2 sensor. I had an idea of some sensors, but I'm going to start testing everything with the multimeter. I'm going to do that maybe when I get the radiator in. I'm going to do a full radiator, install the hoses, and then I'm going to go through and basically test for why my system's running rich, and we'll take you through that process. We're going to test my O2 sensors. We'll probably test my fuel pump. We'll probably do a fuel pressure test as well. We're going to see what we could find, and then hopefully we can just narrow it down to one sensor and then get that taken care of. I also have picked up a auxiliary fan from somebody off Facebook. Mine had went bad, so now I can run that and have cold AC in the front, so that should also help with some cooling. But besides that, just going to do some cleanup work on the rest of the car, just clean things up. So if there is any leaks or anything else, I could see that and spot that very easily. But for the most part, radiator install coming this weekend, hopefully, with the hoses and everything. And we're also going to diagnose the system running rich. So we're going to take you through all that, and then hopefully have some good racing content and stuff. I think next weekend, I'm not going to get my other axle until next week. So next weekend we're going to do the rear axles, and then we're going to check out the whole rear and adjust the suspension. So we got those videos coming out for you guys. Definitely stay tuned. And if you like this video, or you like, you know, you're interested in this, please like, comment, subscribe, because it's going to mean a lot. Just getting started here, and we're going to go racing, and hopefully, you know, follow the build progress and follow my racing progress, and it's going to be sweet. All right, thanks guys.